Here's a question from Rich in Miami, Florida. I have pink tiles in the bathroom and I want to paint them white. What's the best way to paint? So Rich, when it comes to refinishing tiles, most people hire a pro. They'll come out and do all the prep work and they'll spray on this epoxy that looks fantastic, but it costs a lot of money. If you want to do it yourself, use a two-part epoxy kit like this one from Rust-Oleum. That's the key, 2 parts, because you want to have that chemical reaction to make a super sticky finish that you can apply. But the most important part of this application is making sure you clean what you have. So you use a bleach and water solution to get it nice and clean, then use a kitchen cleanser and a Scotch-Brite pad to really scrub it, allow that to dry, mix these 2 parts together and you brush it on. It's a self-leveling coating that when it's done will look like it's sprayed on, and it's super durable and beautiful. Here's a question from Russell. We just got some old barn wood that we'd like to use indoors for paneling. How do we treat it for bugs? So Russell, this is a tough one because, the bugs could be inside that grain and you don't know it. So you want to make sure you give it a good visual inspection on the ends, in the field of the wood as well. If you see any crevices or traverses where the bugs have been chewing into that wood. Now you certainly could spray it with a bug killer, but why would you want to introduce all those chemicals ultimately inside your home? Since you said you live in New York, take that wood, pile it up outside and let it get cold and freeze below freezing temperatures for a couple of days. If there's any bugs in there, they'll be killed by the cold. Mother Nature will do all the work for you. Then bring that paneling inside, let it acclimate indoors for probably about a week, install it, and enjoy your new paneling bug-free. Here's a question from Steve. What's the best way to protect your AC compressor in the winter? Cover it or leave it alone? I simply put a board on top of it to prevent snow from coming in. So here's the thing. Your AC compressor is designed to be outside. But if you live in a colder climate where you get snow and ice, one of the things that can happen is snow can build up on that compressor when it's off, and it can get heavy and the blades could actually bend. That's bad. Now the board over the top is certainly fine because that's really all you need to protect. But if you go to the hardware store, you can find these vinyl covers that you can put right over the top and run a bungee cord around it to protect the side coils too. It keeps the ice off there, which isn't a bad idea. But one thing to remember, if you go all the way down to the ground and you put bricks around it and basically seal it up, it can become a motel for rodents in the wintertime. You don't want that. There are some products you can buy that actually smell like spearmint. One of them is called Mouse Magic. So what I do is I cover it with the vinyl, but I leave it up about 4 inches and I throw one of those packets right underneath there. So just in case they have any ideas about moving in, they're heading out the other way.
Hi Lou, my name is Rajan. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. And my question to you is, we have a lock in the door and the lever of the lock it's not coming out. Should we grease it or should we change it?
Sure, you could add a little grease or oil to that bolt. That's what I'm thinking you're talking about. But what can happen, in particular with deadbolts and even doorknobs, the lock mechanism can actually shift a little bit. So take a Phillips screwdriver and loosen it up a little bit, and then try and realign it until you can throw the lever back and forth and it moves freely. Then tighten those screws back up and it should work just fine.